I asked Inspector Lestrade to take Montague Dunn's body to Scotland Yard.
It's ready for autopsy, then.
I hope so. I fucking hope so, considering, we trekked all this way. Mr. Holmes? This one? Yes. That was a good guess. Body.
First
Okay.
of all, let us carry out an external examination. There are no suspicious marks upon the chest. Let us finish our external examination, so that we can proceed with the autopsy.
Hands clenched.
Nothing suspicious here.
Oh. What about this hand?
No redness, stings, or bruises.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hello.
There is an injury to the skull, most probably caused by the fall in the water lily greenhouse.
Possibly.
The vessels and the pupil of the eye appear quite normal.
Hello? Someone... What's the soundtrack? Someone's just going, get a bowl or a cup. Oh yeah, by the way, these are now on the store. They've been on the store for a while. But they are Libby cups, if you ever want a Libby cup. This is a one-of-a-kind first edition, so it's not exactly the same. There isn't like a ball of wool at the end. But you can buy these. They are nice. But it sounds like someone's literally going like... But not with a... I need something metal. I've got nothing. But it sounds like someone's standing there just banging a bowl for the soundtrack. Bon.
The air from the lungs carries a faint floral aroma. Now, let us examine the internal organs.
I thought you were going to say let us examine his lower half. Whoosh with the sheet. This all looks very non-true to life. This is the liver.
Is enlarged. It would seem that he was suffering from an alcohol addiction.
Well, aren't we all, apparently? Fucking hell.
The liver tissue is brown. There are no visible pathological signs.
I'll just put it back, yeah.
The stomach tissues show no visible pathological signs. The stomach...
Is there no more to this?
There is a small amount of content. It appears that he breakfasted lightly, only a short while before his death.
Breakfasted lightly. Yes, breakfasted is a verb. If you use it in the right way. Today... No. Not today I am breakfasting. I suppose you could. It's a bit fucking weird. It's a very leftover English thing. No! Put it back! I don't want the liver. I wanted the heart or the lungs.
The lungs are congested and edematous.
Ugh. Oh, no. No, thank you. Oh, God.
The tissue on the inferior lobe of the right lung is damaged, most probably caused by toxins from an unknown plant.
It also looks like the stains on that man's collar.
The heart's blood vessels show no pathological signs.
Okay.
The heart tissue shows no visible pathological signs.
So the gist is, everything's fine apart from he might have been a little bit alcoholic, but not enough to, like, damage the liver in that way.
Suspicions have been substantiated. Montague Dunn, the director of Kew Gardens, died from poisoning. Plant poisoning, to be more exact.
You mean...
Yes, it is murder.
We should inform Lestrade.
No need!
Yes, but do remember, Watson, that I discovered the murder. The challenge is mine.
Oh, fuck off.
The challenge, Holmes?
We need to locate that deadly plant. Such a perfect murder appeals to me.
Murder of any kind appeals to you. Is that all we need to do?
No. We also have the people working at Kew Gardens. Martin Hamish and the son of the victim, Albert Dunn.
And also Miss White, of whom we spoke with Mr. Hamish. Should we bring them all here for interrogation?
No.
No.
A few innocuous questions at Kew will suffice, as well as a discreet delve into their personal affairs.
Okay.
Yes, Watson. It is time now to open the doors.
Even those in the staff building? I suppose that is necessary.
It's a
We
fucking
should
murder.
also be concerned with the victim himself. After all, we don't know very much about Montague Dunn.
You're enjoying this already, aren't you?
More than a little.
Right, okay, brilliant. Well, I'm excited for this, Holmes. Poisoning, deadly plants are stolen. Clearly, some shit's gone down with that. Yada, yada, yada. Brilliant. Theft of murder. I did it. Oh, really? Oh, there we go. Poisoning, Dunn's trapped. He did inhale it, which would make sense, because you remember that vent that I could open? It's been popped in there, and then someone's turned the ventilation on and locked him in, I would guess, by the fact he tried to hammer down the door. And that's... Oh, I guess that's probably also why the windows and the floor have been cleaned, is actually to hide the traces of the stuff. Versus the blood that I thought it was, because he had a heart attack. So they induced the heart attack, Watson. It's very, very poor plays indeed. Very disappointed in this. It isn't acceptable. It's not acceptable. Don't do this shit. Bringing the reputation of Kew Gardens to disrepute. Think of the children. Think of the generations that will no longer be able to go to Kew Gardens, you absolute bastard, for ruining everything. It might not be the dude with the collar, to be fair, but we'll try it. Right, mate, do you think you can open up the doors for me? Police said so, so get on with it. Sharp.
What about them? They're fresh.
Thank you, Angel, for the resub. Wow, we have loads of shit to ask about this time. There's so many things to ask about. 5 things. Let's start with the top and work down.
Mr. Hamish, can you explain to us what happened to the Colonial collection? It seems somewhat depleted.
But, most likely maintenance work, tidying up.
Bollocks to
You're
that.
not sure, then? But you're the deputy director.
Well, I am busy. I cannot be everywhere at once.
What?
As deputy director, how was your relationship with Montague Dunn?
To be honest with you, Mr. Holmes, it could have been better. You see, every Tuesday he would carry out his inspection of the gardens, but it was solely to make an impression, great pretense that he cared at all. He would give out absurd orders, ignoring anyone else's opinion. He would then disappear for the rest of the week. He was what some might call a man of action. I'd say rather he was overzealous and chaotic. So after all, it was no wonder, perhaps, that he ended up like that, if you take into consideration his kind of lifestyle.
Oh, I see. Tell me more about his lifestyle.
You mentioned that Mr. Dunn led a particular lifestyle.
Well, it's no secret that he enjoyed, celebrating, shall we say. He was a member of the London Smart Set. He was famous for it. That
And
he had an eye for the ladies, to put it mildly, Mr. Holmes.
Right. Keys.
Mr. Hamish, can you tell us who holds the keys to the locked greenhouses?
That would be Albert, Mr. Dunn's son. Yes, Albert keeps all the keys, and one can only imagine why.
What do you mean?
Well, he was never interested in Kew Gardens before, and now all of a sudden he is trying to act as if he owns the place.
Does he?
I think he wants to take over the management here. He'd do better to leave that to me. He has no experience. No, none at all.
Right, okay. So, because the son did say that he was better at management than botany. So maybe there's an element of jealousy. Maybe this guy felt he was being pushed out because he wanted the son to take over the position of deputy. I don't know. I don't know. There's a few layers here of bullshit. There's also Miss White, who we haven't met. So, but what Daddy done could have been perving on her, and she could have killed him. Poisoning is a kind of mainly a women's thing, but we're also in a fucking horticultural area, so it's as far as I'm concerned, a free for all.
What is your opinion of Albert as a student of botany?
He's useless. I often tell him so, and I can only give him cleaning tasks. Botany is not his life's work, and his father well knew it. He was furious about it.
He was?
Oh, yes. He forced his son to work here, and he never missed an opportunity to criticize him publicly.
Oh.
Are you able to elaborate on that?
Well, for example, with our last exhibition here, Mr. Dunn had Albert make a presentation speech. But then, while the lad was speaking, Mr. Dunn interrupted him, asking him difficult questions, making him look like a failure.
Wow.
It was with the intention of making a fool of him, Mr.
Daddy
Holmes.
Dunn is a nasty man.
That must have been terribly humiliating.
Yes, he was crushed, and he had to leave. Everybody was making fun of poor Albert. That is, except for Miss Margaret White, who is such a nice lady and who always takes pity on Albert.
Okay. Margaret White.
You mentioned a Miss White. Would you tell us more about her?
She is a student who works here part-time. She is quite charming indeed. She possesses a great talent for botany. You should take a look at some of her experiments that she carried out in the laboratory. Ah, if only she were not so naive.
Sorry?
Why naive?
The way she used to flutter around Mr. Montague Dunn. And he couldn't help but be flattered by all her attention. How could an intelligent woman such as Miss White not see through his game? I can only scratch my head and wonder.
Maybe she did see through his game, but maybe she thought her only option was to do that, mate. Because it is Victorian London, innit? And people had no rights and stuff.
Tell me, Mr. Hamish, do you grow the more deadly variety of plant here?
You mean insectivorous? Yes, but nothing larger than that.
No,
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
I don't mean insectivores and ting. Oh, God. I mean other things, sir. Whatever. For God's sake! I need to go get the keys off of Albert. Hang on. Albert, can I go through... No, hang on. Yes. No, actually, it'll be quicker this way, unless he's moved, because he's in the palm bit, which is right at the start. Oh, steady on camera. God, it really hates this. This whole area. It hates the doors. It hates everything. Right. Oh my good God. Where do we start? Let's start with let's start with door keys.
Do you hold the keys to all of these locked doors?
Yes, you can have them. But I cannot give you the keys to the cloakroom. The employees' effects are private. I am sure you understand.
There's been a murder. But sure, whatever, mate.
Who is Miss Margaret White?
Ah, she is the young lady who studies with me. She visits here sometimes to help out with the greenhouses. In fact, she should be here today. She wanted to work at the seed house. That's the small greenhouse across from the large glass house.
Right. I bet you wanted to work her seed house. Oh, that's a terrible joke. Oh, that's dreadful. I'll take my coat and leave.
We noticed that a part of the Colonial collection has been cleared.
Ah, at the moment I'm just dealing with the storage room. I don't know much about the other rooms.
Oh, wait. What are the plants? You know the plants that are burnt? Are the plants that are burnt perhaps not actually... Because we have got that gas mask situation as well. So is it perhaps that those plants that are in the fire are the dead plants from the Colonial room, not the plants that are stolen and missing? Which would make a lot more sense because they probably died from the toxin as well. I don't know. Tell me about your father.
I imagine that your relationship with your father may have been a strained one.
Yes. I cannot say that he was a kind man, for he never listened to me at all. He forced me to work here. But now, after his death, I've been pondering it over. Perhaps he wasn't so wrong about me after all. I have to follow his path, and I have to manage Kew Gardens, and I can do it. I can be as good as any other who works here.
I see. Okay. Well, good luck.
Would you please tell us about Martin Hamish, the Deputy Director?
Well, I have to tell you that Mr. Hamish is not and has never been the Deputy Director of Kew Gardens.
Oh!
My father would not have tolerated it.
Indeed? That is most interesting. He told us that he was.
Yes, because he believes that the management should be passed down to him now that my father is dead. But in actual fact, Mr. Hamish only has the honour of being the garden's longest-serving employee.
Oh.
In fact, if we are to think logically at all, should be me who takes over the management of Kew Gardens.
Oh my.
Do you not have a good relationship with Mr. Hamish?
I suppose so. But we have very little in common. Mr. Hamish loves his plants and Kew Gardens, and I cannot say that I share his passion.
I see. And how was his relationship with your father?
Oh, he hated my father. It was obvious. He would be furious whenever my father boasted of Kew Gardens in the newspapers or at conferences. He was convinced that my father was stealing all of the credit for himself. But my father treated Mr. Hamish in the same way as he treated anyone. Dismissively. With indifference.
Oh.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Okay. Goodbye. Well, goodness me. Oh, I've got the keys now. Also, I need to find a use for the marble fragment. But that might be a bit easier now due to the fact that we have keys for things. Let's start with here and work our way around to the seed house.
Locked.
No, it's not locked, Holmes. Just calm down. Oh, crap. Hang on. Oh, no! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These safes, so secure. Much difficulty. Very hard. Oh, letters. Hello, what's this? My dear friend, please allow me to express my disappointment upon reading your last letter. I am paying you to defend me, not to accuse me. Kew Gardens is a royal institution. We are granted the greatest opportunity to travel the world and to save the most extraordinary, precious, and rare species of plants. Our duty is to protect such species as those for which so dubious purposes. This divine syndicate of whom you speak have no right to hold such precious plants. Remember the case of June 14th, 1889. This sounds like an archives job. I must respectfully ask you once again to notarize the permissions on these plants at the bar of Kew Gardens. The documents were sent to you on Monday. P.S. See you in Boodles on Tuesday, as always. Boodles. Letter of complaint. Mr. Dunn, we must ask you for the last time for the return of our dear sisters. You do not have any right to hold them imprisoned. They do not belong to you. Your so-called permissions are wholly false. You are hiding behind lies. The lie we need not elaborate, which was reported in the press in the case of June 14th, 1889. What you have done is quite abhorrent. Be very sure that we shall never abandon our family members. We trusted you and regret having done so. The Divine Syndicate. I think the plants are the brothers. They're just
I
sisters.
suggest that we don't tell Miss Margaret White about this document.
Which document would that be, Holmes? Oh, the debt. To Mr. Montague. Ah, the motive. Credits opened at Hamilton, not the show. It'll be a shop. At Radigan House, the tailors, and at Baird and Sons, luxury jewellers. An educational scholarship at the London University, and then rental of a suite of rooms at Oxford Street. Wow, it sounds like she was using him for their cash. Well, Watson. My goodness. Oh, hello.
A photograph of Montague Dunn and Reynold Hamish.
Reynold. Is that what he was called? Reynold. Did I miss that? Oh, champagne.
Champagne. Montague Dunn had good taste.
Champagne.
French wine. A remarkable vintage.
Well, we know he was a bit of an alcoholic. Oh, we have another letter. My dearest Margaret. Oh, my goodness. My dearest Margaret, following our last conversation, I believe it might be better if you vacate your position here at Kew Gardens. As you pointed out quite bluntly, you are no longer in need of my support. You are quite able to stand up for yourself in the world, as you say. Well, I give you back your freedom and wish you nothing but good luck. So, that sounds okay. Like, he's at least... There was a personal loan, but this sounds like, well, maybe. Maybe they went to get away amicably about the whole thing.
Newspapers discussing Kew Gardens.
Kew Gardens team, producer Barley, Mr. Martin Hamish, not Hamish, the proud cultivator of the graft, will hold a press conference next Monday morning upon this very subject. Okay. Oakley dokily. Oh God, Watson, I'm stuck on everything. I think we've gotten everything out of here, Watson, so maybe we should just leave. And try in here. Oh, perfect. Oh, I can do some magical searching. Searchy. Oh, laboratory table. Oh, wet bottle trace. Oh, Watson, there's been some bad shit here.
Dust. Good heavens. What's it doing here?
The gold is almost immune to chemical attacks, so it may be a valuable auxiliary for various experiments.
But why would anyone perform such experiments in a botanical garden?
They want to see if it'll kill, Watson.
There was a bottle here. It left behind a trace of the substance that pervaded the laboratory.
Pervaded the laboratory. Oh, hello.
Several drops of the substance were spilled. Someone carried this bottle around. Several drops of the substance were spilled.
Oh,
the bottle is
Watson.
no longer here, but it is possible to detect
Oh,
a
no.
faint scent. We need a good nose.
Grover, it's time to... Oh, I hope Toby doesn't have hay fever. Poor Toby.
A botany.
A botany book.
This
Ah,
student's book belongs to Albert.
okay. Good. Toby! Oh, hello, though. Hang on a minute. Oh, no. Chemistry cupboard. Fine.
Chemicals.
Bottles.
A sufficient quantity for some serious experiments.
Yeah.
A
Phonograph.
phonograph used for voice recording. Remarkable.
Yes, this is quite a modern laboratory. I don't hear anything.
Oh, shush. There.
Martin Hamish's perception of plants.
Oh?
The notion of communication in the plant world has long been considered marginal, yet I remain convinced that some plants do indeed transmit chemical signals in the event of attack.
Well, we know
A
they do
study
now, I
report by
think.
Martin Hamish.
I think we know that because the, there's some sort of plant that does something when ants attack it. It's like, oh, get away from me.
And it seems clear from these multiple experiments that plants do respond to their environment and have a form of consciousness. Margaret White, February 1895. Report number 245.
Study report.
Has he stolen your... Did he steal her... Oh, we need more evidence. Steal her notes or something.
This is a table for experiments. It resembles my own.
Only
Okay.
this one is kept in good order, Holmes.
Watson, how dare you? How fucking dare you? I should slap that grin right off your face, Watson! Watson, look!
Such masks are generally worn when dealing with toxic chemicals.
I know, because we found one in the fucking
Gloves.
fire.
Waterproof aprons. Everything one might need for self-protection.
Do they grow dangerous plants here?
Oh my god, Watson. I think I might just shoot you right now. Come on, man.
It appears as though the protective equipment is missing from here.
Right, okay. I think... Whoa, steady.
Locked.
Oh,
Holmes,
that's...
It does not.
Oh my god, we're opening the cloakroom anyway. I thought I was going to try and click through it, but no. We are... Oh god, Watson. Watson, you... what have you done? What have you done, Watson? I want to say that's got to be like... Oh, I don't know, actually. Oh, no. No, that works. Aha! Hang on. Oh, God. Live up to the difficulty. It's not a super amount. It's just a bit of a pain. How do I... Oh, hang on. Ah, okay. Got it. So it probably needs to go to there. This also could be moved. So what I want to do is actually go like that. Maybe... Is there any other lines? I mean, it could be that. But then that doesn't work for that. Unless you can move all of the green. But then we don't have... Oh, we have that. Aha! Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. So what I need to do is I need to... Oh shit, no, not rotate you. Rotate that to like... oh no! No, Watson! Oh, I fucked it, Watson. I'm so sorry. Put that back to there. Like that. Yes. We rotate it all. Yes, this is oh, this is not happening. It's sort of happening. I've started setting it up and it doesn't actually match. It needs to be like here, doesn't it? Hang on. There we go. Right. There we go. Oh, I did it.
Open.
Magic. The magic of... Oh, here we go.
Martin Hamish's locker.
The magic of unlocking things with bullshit things. I don't know what I'm saying.
Mr. General Secretary, recent events unfolding at Kew Gardens obliged me to renew my application for the management position. As I have stated already, I believe that no one is better suited for the post. Whilst he was alive, I understood your reservation to my I understood your reservation to my suggestion. Your reasons were political, and I was happy to comply. However, now he is dead. Kew Gardens lie in disorder. How can I stand by and allow it? How can I leave them in the hands of the inexperienced people with no motivation? Wow. Cast your decision as a matter of urgency, so I may devote myself entirely to the noble task ahead.
A review on rare and exotic plants. Martin Hamish has written several pieces.
Okay.
Martin Hamish studied chemistry. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Who dat? Father
and I. Kew Gardens.
So his dad, we know his dad was like friends with Dunn man. Not Albert, his dad.
Albert's locker.
Albert, he likes, refusal
A
letter.
rejection letter from the British Royal Naval College.
He wants to go to sea. Despite your excellent results within our entry examinations, we're unable to invite you. Your father has expressed his intention to entrust you the directorship of the Royal Botanical Gardens, and it is clear he would not release you for an entire year of... Oh, thanks, Dad. Fucking hell.
Specialist articles on shipyards and ship construction. Albert Dunn has a great passion for shipbuilding and the sea.
I can't believe his dad. What a knob. Also, there is something
Young Albert, standing with a woman in front of London University.
Can I look at it again, please?
Young...
No, okay. We can't twirl it or anything. That's fine. Okay, so that's those two. Is this Montague? No, Margaret White's.
Miss White's locker.
Miss White's.
A draft of the letter that Miss White sent to her parents.
I'm writing this letter with reluctance to ask for your help. My studies and housing costs have proved to be more expensive than I had anticipated. I fear, therefore, I may not be able to manage in the long term. I know we've had our disagreements in the past, but would you be so heartless as to allow your daughter to fail her studies due to lack of money? You sure that they've got any money to help you? Oh, look, there's your
Apparently, Miss White is a capable student.
diploma. You scamming your parents, you naughty girl. Also, what the fuck are these?
These jewels must be worth a small fortune.
Have you been stealing?
A vanity purse. It is of high quality.
Girl, you've been stealing shit? Oh, a letter from the family. We were surprised to receive your letter. How could you think to ask us for money after all these years that have passed since you left without a thought for us? We never shared any details of your success at university, but you choose to do so now. I suppose you must be ashamed of us, for we are not from the same high class as your new friends. Yes, we are modest people, but you should learn to put your family first, as we at home have done. And none of us ever compromised their reputation as it appears you have already with your employer, Mr. Dunn. No, Margaret, it is us. No, it is you who makes us feel ashamed. Your parents. Well, Margaret, goodness me. Oh. However, Albert said, I will help you out. So that's why she's obviously said to the dad, no, I'm good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Your son's now going to pay for everything. Naughty lady.